Captain Jack Collins stood on the bridge of the USS Liberty, watching the stars through the main screen. His ship was on patrol near the edge of human space, looking for raiders and pirates who attacked trade ships. Jack was 45 years, old with short brown hair and tired eyes. He had been fighting in space for 20 years. "Captain," called Communications Officer Betty Lane from her station. "I'm picking up a distress signal. It's very weak, but it's definitely there." Jack walked over to her console. Betty was a young woman with red hair and sharp green eyes. She was the best communications officer in the fleet, able to pick up signals that other people missed. "What kind of signal?" Jack asked. "It's alien, sir. Multiple languages. I can make out some galactic standard and what sounds like Kethrin. The message says they have 12 people on board, and their life support is failing." Jack's second-in-command, Commander Paul Martinez, looked up from the tactical display. Paul was a big man with dark skin and a serious face. He had been Jack's friend for 15 years. "Sir, that signal is coming from deep in Raider space," Paul said. "Intelligence reports say there are at least 3 Zorithian groups hunting in that area. It could be a trap." Jack nodded. The Zorithians were a mean species that loved to fight and steal. They hated humans more than most aliens because humans were new to space, but already building a strong military. Many Zorithians thought humans were dangerous and should be stopped before they became too powerful. "How far away are they?" Jack asked navigator Linda Roberts. Linda was a small woman with blonde hair and quick fingers. She could plot a course through space faster than anyone Jack knew. "About 16 hours at full speed, Captain." Dr. Nick Stone, the ship's medical officer, spoke up from where he was standing near the back of the bridge. "Captain, if their life support is really failing, 16 hours might be too long. They could all be dead by the time we get there." Jack looked around at his crew. The USS Liberty was not the biggest human ship, but it was tough and fast. It had thick armor and powerful weapons. Unlike the pretty curved ships that most aliens built, human ships looked like flying boxes with guns. They were not beautiful, but they were built to fight and win. "What do we know about Kethrins?" Jack asked. "They're peaceful scientists," Paul answered. "Been part of the coalition for a long time. They explore space and study planets, not fighters at all. If they're in trouble, they probably can't help themselves." Betty turned around in her chair. "Captain, the signal is getting weaker. I think their power is running out." Jack made his decision. "All hands, this is the captain. We have received a distress call from a coalition ship. We are changing course to assist. Battle stations, everyone. We might have to fight to reach them." The bridge became busy as everyone prepared for action. Weapons Officer Tony Williams started checking the ship's guns and missiles. Chief Engineer Sarah Davis went to make sure the engines were ready for a long, fast trip. "Sir," Paul said quietly, "are you sure about this? We're not part of the coalition. This isn't really our problem." Jack looked at his old friend. "Paul, what if that was an American ship out there? What if that was your family calling for help?" "That's different, sir. These are aliens." "No, it's not different," Jack said firmly. "They're people in trouble and we can help them. That's what we do." Commander Martinez nodded slowly. He knew Jack was right. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy for being aggressive and warlike. Some aliens were afraid of them, but humans also had something else. They helped people who needed it, even if those people were strangers. "Course set, Captain," Linda reported. 16 hours to intercept." "Take us there, best speed," Jack ordered. The USS Liberty turned and accelerated toward the distress signal. The ship's powerful engines pushed it faster and faster through space. In the crew quarters, soldiers checked their weapons and armor. In the medical bay, Dr. Stone prepared for casualties. Everyone knew this could be a fight. "Betty, keep monitoring that signal," Jack said. "Let me know if anything changes." "Yes, sir." "Captain, should I try to respond, let them know help is coming?" Jack thought about it. "No. If there are raiders nearby, they might pick up our transmission. Better to stay quiet until we get there." Hours passed as the Liberty raced through space. The crew worked in shifts, some sleeping while others watched the sensors for enemy ships. Jack stayed on the bridge most of the time, drinking coffee and watching the stars. "Captain," Tony called out. Long-range sensors are picking up something. Multiple ships near the distress signal location. How many? Paul asked. At least 3, maybe 4. They're too far away to get a clear reading, but they're definitely there. Jack's jaw tightened. Zorithians? Probably, sir. The energy signatures match their ship types. How long until we reach them? 4 hours, Captain, Linda answered. Jack stood up and walked to the center of the bridge. His crew looked at him, waiting for orders. They all knew they were about to face a dangerous enemy to save people they had never met. Listen up, everyone, Jack said. In 4 hours, we're going to find some people who need our help. There will probably be raiders trying to hurt them. We're going to stop those raiders and save those people. That's what humans do. We protect the innocent, even if it means putting ourselves in danger. The crew nodded. They were ready to fight. The USS Liberty dropped out of faster-than-light travel with a flash of blue light. Captain Jack Collins immediately saw what they were facing. The alien ship Starweaver was floating dead in space, its hull cracked and burned. Around it circled 3 Zorithian destroyers like sharks around wounded prey. Red alert, Jack shouted. All weapons ready. Paul, what are those raiders doing? Commander Paul Martinez studied his tactical screen. Sir, it looks like they're preparing to board the alien ship. I'm reading life signs on the Starweaver, very weak but still there. Not on my watch, Jack said grimly. Tony, target the nearest raider ship. Hit their engines first. We want to disable them, not destroy them if we can help it. Weapons Officer Tony Williams's hands flew over his controls. Targeting systems. Locked, Captain. Ready to fire. The Zorithian ships had noticed the human warship. The lead destroyer, painted in red and black war colors, turned toward the Liberty. On the main screen, a reptilian face appeared. The Zorithian had dark green scales, yellow eyes, and sharp teeth. Scars covered his face from many battles. I am War Commander Thaktar of the Bloodfang clan, the alien snarled. You dare interrupt our rightful salvage, human scum? That ship is our prize. Jack stepped forward, his face calm but his eyes hard as steel. This is Captain Collins of the USS Liberty. That ship sent a distress call. We're here to help them. Leave now, and nobody gets hurt. Thaktar's laugh sounded like breaking glass. Help them. You pathetic humans think you can order us around? We were raiding and conquering when your species was still living in caves. 3 ships against 1. You will die screaming. I don't think so, Jack said quietly. The transmission ended. Incoming missiles, Paul shouted. 3 salvos from all enemy ships. Evasive maneuvers, Jack ordered. Return fire. The Liberty twisted through space as navigator Linda Roberts threw the ship into a spinning dive. Zorithian missiles streaked past the hull, missing by meters. The human ship's weapons fired back, bright beams of energy crossing the darkness. Tony's first shot hit the lead Zorithian destroyer right in the engine section. Sparks and debris flew from the raider ship as it lost power and began to drift. Good shot, Jack called out. Target the second ship. But the Zorithians were not finished. The second destroyer fired its main guns at the Liberty. The powerful blasts hit the human ship's shields, making the whole vessel shake. Shields down to 70%, reported Chief Engineer Sarah Davis, from the engine room. But holding strong. The third Zorithian ship tried to get behind the Liberty for a sneak attack. Linda saw it coming and spun the ship around faster than the raiders expected. Instead of hitting an undefended rear section, the Zorithian found himself facing the Liberty's main guns. Fire, Jack ordered. Tony's shots were perfect. They hit the Zorithian ship's weapon systems, exploding the missile tubes and disabling the main guns. The raider ship could still fly, but it could not fight. War Commander Thaktar's ship was still dangerous even with damaged engines. The Zorithian fired everything he had at the human ship. Energy beams and plasma bolts lit up space like a deadly fireworks show. Direct hit on Deck 7, Sarah called out. Minor damage, no casualties. Their armor is too thick. Thaktar roared over the communication channel that was still open. How is this possible? Human ships are supposed to be weak. Jack smiled coldly. You haven't been paying attention. Tony, target his bridge. Sir, that could kill everyone on the ship, Tony said. Not the bridge, then. Hit his communication array. I'm tired of listening to him. The Liberty's next shot destroyed the Zorithians' communication system. Thaktar's angry face disappeared from the main screen. The battle lasted only 10 minutes. When it was over, 2 Zorithian ships were dead in space and the third was limping away as fast as its damaged engines could carry it. The human ship had taken some damage but was still fully operational. Damage report, Jack said. Minor hull breaches on Deck 7, all sealed, Sarah reported. Shields back to full power. Weapon systems all green. We're ready for another fight, if needed. Good. Paul, scan that alien ship. How are the people inside? Paul worked at his console for a moment. Life signs are very weak, Captain. I'm reading 3 conscious beings and 10 in some kind of sleep state. Their power is almost gone. Dr. Stone to the bridge, Jack called over the ship's communication system. Dr. Nick Stone arrived quickly, carrying his medical bag. Captain, what do we have? 12 aliens in a damaged ship, 3 awake, 10 in emergency sleep. We need to get over there and help them before their life support fails completely. I'll need to know what kind of aliens they are, Nick said. Different. Species need different medical care. They're Kethrans, Paul answered. I've got their basic biology on file. They breathe oxygen like us, but they need slightly higher humidity. Their normal body temperature is about 10 degrees cooler than humans. Jack turned to his security chief, Commander Lisa Thompson. Lisa was a tough woman with black hair and quick reflexes. She had been a soldier before joining the Space Navy. Lisa, take a team over to that ship. Bring emergency life support equipment and be ready for anything. Those raiders might have left booby traps. Yes, sir. How many people? Do you want me to take? 6 security officers and Dr. Stone, full combat gear, but remember, these aliens are the victims here. We're there to help them, not scare them. Understood, Captain. While the rescue team prepared, Communications Officer Betty Lane tried to contact the alien ship. USS Liberty to Starweaver, please respond. This is the human ship that drove off. The raiders. We're here to help you. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then a weak voice came through the speakers. The alien spoke in accented but clear English. Human ship, this is Captain Vextal of the Starweaver. We cannot believe you came. We thought we were going to die out here. Jack took the microphone from Betty. Captain Vextal, this is Captain Collins. We're sending a rescue team over to your ship right now. Our doctor will help your injured crew members. Why? The alien captain asked. Why did you risk your ship and your people for strangers? Jack thought for a moment before answering. Because that's what people do for each other, Captain. We don't leave anyone behind if we can help it. Commander Lisa Thompson and her rescue team floated through space in their armored suits, moving carefully toward the damaged alien ship. Dr. Nick Stone followed close behind, carrying special medical equipment designed for helping different alien species. Stay alert, everyone, Lisa said through her helmet radio. We don't know what we'll find in there. The Starweaver looked even worse up close. Its beautiful silver hull was covered with burn marks and holes. Some sections were completely destroyed, held together only by emergency force fields that flickered weakly. There's an airlock on the port side that looks intact, reported Sergeant Mike Chen, one of Lisa's security officers. I can see lights inside. Good. Nick, are you ready? Dr. Stone checked his equipment one more time. Ready. I've got oxygen. Masks, emergency medicines, and portable life support units. Should be enough to help 12 people. The rescue team entered the alien ship through the damaged airlock. Inside, the Starweaver was dark and cold. Emergency lighting cast strange shadows on the walls. The air was thin and smelled like metal and ozone. This way, came a weak voice in English. A tall, thin figure appeared in the corridor. It was Captain Vextal, and he looked terrible. His blue skin was pale, and the crystal patches on his forehead barely glowed at all. Captain Vextal? Lisa asked, removing her helmet. I'm Commander Thompson from the USS Liberty. This is Dr. Stone. Vextal stared at the humans in amazement. He had never seen their species before. They were shorter than Kethrans but looked stronger, with different colored skin and hair. Their eyes showed determination and kindness. You really came, Vextal whispered. I cannot believe it. You fought 3 Zorithian ships to save us. Where are your injured crew members? Dr. Stone asked, opening his medical bag. Follow me, Vextel said. He led them through the ship's corridors to a room where Navigator Quinara was lying on a bed, barely conscious. Chief Engineer Torvan sat nearby, trying to fix a broken air recycler with shaking hands. Dr. Stone immediately went to work. He checked Quinara's pulse and breathing, then gave her an oxygen mask. She's suffering from oxygen deprivation and exhaustion. This should help. Within minutes, Quinara's crystal patches began to glow brighter. She opened her eyes and saw the strange aliens helping her. Humans? She asked weakly. Yes, Vextel said. They drove off the raiders and came to rescue us. Torvan stopped working and stared at the humans. But why? We are not part of your alliance. We are strangers to you. Sergeant Chen, who was setting up a portable life support unit, looked up. Because you needed help, and we could give it. That's reason enough. Dr. Stone moved to check the crew members in the sleep pods. All 10 were alive, but in bad condition. We need to get them to our medical bay immediately. Our ship has better equipment to help them recover. Is it safe to move them? Vextel asked. Safer than leaving them here? Dr. Stone replied. Your ship's life support will fail completely in the next few hours. Back on the USS Liberty, Captain Jack Collins watched the rescue operation through his security cameras. He could see his crew working alongside the aliens, sharing equipment and knowledge. Captain, Communications Officer Betty Lane called out. I'm receiving a message from Coalition Command. They want to know why we're in this sector. Tell them. We responded to a distress call, Jack said. Full details to follow. Sir, there's something else. Long-range sensors are picking up a Coalition fleet heading this way. Looks like someone reported the Zorithian raids. Jack nodded. How long until they arrive? About 6 hours, Captain. Over the next few hours, Dr. Stone and his medical team worked to save the Kethrin crew. The 10 crew members from the sleep pods were brought to the Liberty's medical bay, where human and alien technology worked together to heal them. Captain Vextel spent time on the human ship's bridge, talking with Captain Collins about what had happened. The two captains found they had much in common even though they were from different species. Your people are remarkable, Vextel said, watching human and Kethrin crew members working together. The galaxy sees humans as warriors and conquerors, but you are also protectors and healers. We're just people, Jack replied. We fight when we have to, but we'd rather help than hurt. Navigator Quinara, now recovered enough to walk, joined them on the bridge. Her crystal patches glowed with curiosity as she studied the human technology. Your ship is so different from ours, she observed. Everything is built for war, but your crew treats us like family. That's the human way, explained Commander Paul Martinez. We prepare for the worst but hope for the best. When the Coalition fleet arrived, it was led by Admiral Kesran, a senior Kethrin officer who had been fighting raiders for decades. His ship, the Harmony, was 3 times the size of the Liberty. Captain Collins, Admiral Kesran said when he appeared on the main screen. I am told you rescued one of our ships and fought off Zorithian raiders. This is unexpected. Just doing what anyone would do, Admiral, Jack replied. Not anyone, Captain. The Zorithians had 3 ships. You had 1. Yet you won the battle and saved my people. This will be remembered. Captain Vextel stepped forward. Admiral, I want to make an official report. Captain Collins and his crew risked their lives for strangers. They showed honor, courage, and compassion. The Coalition should know what kind of people humans really are. Admiral Kesseran's crystal patches glowed bright blue with surprise. You would recommend humans for Coalition membership? I would recommend them for much more than that, Vextel said firmly. They should be our allies and friends. Later, as the 2 fleets prepared to part ways, Captain Collins and Captain Vextel exchanged personal communication codes. If you are ever in our space, you will always be welcome, Vextel said. Same here, Jack replied. And Captain, if you ever need help again, just call. We'll come running. As the Liberty flew away, heading back to human space, Jack stood on Maw, his bridge, thinking about what had happened. His crew had proven that humans could be more than just warriors. They had shown they could be heroes. "Captain," Betty said, "we're receiving a message from Earth Command. They want a full report on our contact with the Coalition." "Tell them we made some new friends today," Jack said with a smile. "And I think that's just the beginning." By years that followed, the rescue of the Starweaver would be remembered as the moment when humanity proved they belonged among the stars, not as conquerors, but as guardians of those who could not protect themselves. Across the galaxy, creatures whispered the name Zek-Thorax in the darkness of space. He was death itself, walking on two legs through the stars. For 300 years, this giant reptile had hunted down the most dangerous beings in the universe. Nothing had ever escaped him. Nothing had ever fought back and won. Zek-Thorax stood 12 feet tall, his black scales harder than the steel of warships. His claws could cut through metal like paper. His teeth could crush bone to powder. But it was not just his body that made him deadly. It was his mind. He was smart, patient, and cruel. He enjoyed the hunt more than the kill. His spaceship was like a floating museum of death. Inside, he kept pieces of every creature he had killed. There were the crystal beings from Vorthan Prime, who could kill with their thoughts alone. He had their skulls mounted on his wall. There were parts of the machine race called the Builders, who had eaten entire planets. He had melted down their metal bodies to make drinking cups. The worst were the shadow crawlers. These things could take over any living creature and use its body like a puppet. Zek-Thorax had hunted them for 50 years before killing the last one. He kept its preserved corpse in a special tank, just to remind himself how dangerous the universe could be. But now, something new had caught his attention. Reports were coming in about a strange species from a small yellow star. They called themselves humans. At first, Zek-Thorax laughed when he heard about them. These creatures were tiny, weak, and had only just learned to travel between stars. They had no claws, no fangs, no armor on their skin. They looked like easy prey. Then the reports got stranger. A human ship had fought off a group of crystal beings. Another human crew had destroyed a builder war machine. Most impossible of all, humans had met the shadow crawlers and somehow driven them away without being taken over. The galaxy's criminals started talking about a human captain named Jake Morrison. His ship was called the Horizon, and his crew was only 23 people. But somehow this tiny group had done things that armies of other aliens could not do. They had faced monsters and won. This made Zek-Thorax very interested. In all his years of hunting, he had never met a species that could fight back against the worst things in space. Most creatures just ran away or died quickly. But these humans seemed different. They seemed to fight back. Zek-Thorax decided that Captain Morrison would look very good in his collection. He started studying everything he could find about humans. He learned about their weak bodies and their simple technology. He read about their short lives and their small brains. Everything he learned made him more confident that this would be an easy hunt. Humans had no natural weapons. They could not see in the dark or smell enemies from far away. They could not run very fast or jump very high. They seemed to break easily and die from simple injuries. Zek-Thorax had killed creatures 10 times stronger than humans without breaking a sweat. But there was something in the reports that puzzled him. Every time humans faced danger, they did not run away alone. They stayed together. They helped each other. They shared information and made plans as a group. This was very strange to Zek-Thorax, who had always hunted alone. Most species in the galaxy were like him. They relied on their own strength, their own speed, their own intelligence. When they fought alone. When they ran alone. When they died alone. This was the natural way of things. Humans seemed to do everything together. When one human was in danger, other humans would risk their lives to help. When one human learned something, they would tell all the other humans. When one human had an idea, other humans would help make it better. Zek-Thorax found this behavior very strange, but he did not think it would help them against him. He had fought creatures that were stronger, faster, and smarter than humans. He had killed beings that could read minds, control time, and bend reality itself. A few weak mammals from a backwater planet would not be a challenge. He would kill Captain Morrison and his crew, take their ship as a trophy, and add their bones to his collection. Thorax spent weeks preparing for the hunt. He studied the humans' travel routes and learned their daily routines. He upgraded his weapons and tested his equipment. He planned every detail of the attack, from the first strike to the final kill. He had done this thousands of times before with other species. The hunter was so confident that he sent a message to the criminal networks before he even started. He announced that he was going to hunt humans and that Captain Morrison would be his next trophy. Other creatures across the galaxy started placing bets on how long the humans would survive. Most gave them less than 1 day. Thorax's ship left its hiding place and started following the horizon through space. His sensors tracked the human vessel as it moved from star to star, exploring new worlds and scanning for resources. The humans had no idea that death was following them through the darkness. Soon, Thorax thought, he would have his answer about what made humans so special. Soon, he would add their bones to his collection and their story to his legend. Soon, the galaxy would know that even the mysterious humans were no match for its greatest hunter. He had no idea how wrong he was about to be.